So let's sketch the face. And notice the face has kind of features on lower half with big forehead and the panda look like. And so the mother has a very large body. Otherwise, there's no room for the baby. Probably I have to enlarge a little bit. And the leg, one stretched, one folded. Yeah. The angle of the ears is different. And this mask on the eye is the eye is actually near the top of the marking. And you can dust off with a kind of a duster. If something wrong, we cannot use eraser, just dust it off like this. Yeah. You can redo it if needed. And it just helps you to imagine, actually. You don't want to sketch too much details. The knee is here. I think my panda is kind of too low. I will dust it off. So you can make all the mistakes at this stage, with this sketch. Until you see the proportion is right, and you can do some control line, just big shapes like a round, the triangle. This kind of relationship will be helpful. Okay. I'll use a smaller, stiff brush, to outline, so we can get some kind of a gray here. This is the mixture of umber and indigo, or phthalo, I think. You can add a little ink, but very little to dilute it. Yeah. Okay. So I roughly kind of do the contour with a lot of Lawson font. Like you can draw the ear roughly, just to give you some. You do a rough sketch with a brush. This paper is very absorbent, so you need to dry the brush. Yeah. I think I will have some paper to test it here. Yeah, you can test it. And the nose, the mouth is a little open, a big jar. Okay, we don't have to draw the baby, but just leave a round shape. And the hand is right there. So basically, I'm just confirm the sketch. You can modify it if you need. The foot, the feet. So the white fur is suggested. And you can leave a lot of unpainted space for white, right? And you can put some water in the shady area, maybe just let it to blur in later. Okay. So I'm going to use a larger brush. Before that, maybe just start the eye a little bit, but it will blur, so maybe not a good idea to use too much water on the eye. And I just soak the brush and dry it with pure ink only on the tip to dot the eye. I'll do this near eye first to squeeze out the nose, actually. The eye is right there. Okay, just like that. And then the other eye. Just a suggestion. Okay, because I got a drop of water that bleed. And just a little tiny spot on the nose, tip of nose. Okay, there's only a little ink, and I can use the remaining ink to do the ear. One stroke. If not enough, you can just touch a little bit and use the side brush. So the left side is a little stronger. And the big ear, actually, quite a big ear. Just dry into wet, maybe, to help to have this blur. You can also make it blur by using a wet brush later. Okay, now I'm going to add more ink. Yeah, if not dark enough, you can wait and then retouch it. Okay, I will load maybe half of the brush now with the dark, and then you can touch a little water to soften the edge, the tip of it. Yeah, just use this cell for the darks. All right, so I'm going to do the forearm here, but leave the baby. So it's like that. So cutting the shape, and just let it use the soft, this heel. See, I use the soft part of the heel part to create this soft edge, and squeeze out the jar also a little bit. And this arm, or this paw in front of it's like eating something. I don't know, not exactly know what it's doing. I use the heel of the brush for lighter part, so you use the whole brush, not just the tip, right? And if you want it dark, you just use the tip. Yeah. Okay. And the heel, the knee is a little lighter, but it's still quite dark. Yeah. Or the black part actually is black, but not pure black. Maybe a little bit less intense could be. So this arm actually is longer. I think this should be this. Okay, I'm going to do this knee here, and the leg, and the foot. Another foot. Just exhaust the brush, dry into wet, because I already wet the lower part a little bit, the belly part. So I can just kind of scrubbing a little bit, scumbering on the dampened paper a little bit. Kind of let it blur if you want. Just press like smoosh, but don't press too hard. It would break the paper. So this brush is a soft brush. That's easier than hard bristle brush for smooshing. Okay, and you can use a smaller brush for the babies. It's probably the eyes. It's very. It's more like a squeeze. The feature is on the lower part of the face. And just a suggestion of arm, not too dark. Maybe just gray. Suggestion. No legs or arms. Maybe just a hint or something. Just just enough to identify that the baby is enough. Not. Oops, I think I did the arm or something. Anyway. You can use a dry brush to adjust if needed, or you can wait because sometimes it's too wet to do. You can use background to define the shape of the body. Bamboo is the only food the panda eat, so we use. Let's use a little bit. You don't have to use colors. We try to just use ink only, supposedly. So light gray. Yeah, try to use the convenient ink cake because it might help to reduce the bleed. What it does is the water may bleed because the grain in this ink, it will keep the stroke. So I'll do a bamboo stalk right on the side of this, maybe to cut the shape of the body, and then kind of go in a little bit and go out, then go just a little bit zigzag. Not exactly perfectly straight. And then do another one, a little leaned to the left, and then maybe another crossing, younger stem. You can have some very dry one to go out. Okay, now some sticks or branches. It comes from the joints of the bamboo. You can paint the joints like this. Just put 2 dots, a little standing out, a little wider than the bamboo. That's for the joints. Okay, now we can do some branches going up and then split, maybe and hang from top like that. They don't have to have the joints, but you can have a little bit. You don't have to do all the detail like the thicker stem. Okay, now we're going to add leaves. The darkness should be a little darker than the stem, but not black as the panda. So and that's because they're background of the animals, so not this bamboo painting. Not they're supporting, not a host of the painting. Yeah. so you can dilute it. You can have one identical, and then the rest could be just lines, so that in a group. So just one thicker stroke, identify that's bamboo, and then just thin lines. And overlap some, make some dense part. Some dense, some sparse. And just 3 strokes, a group in its kind of formula or pattern, or fractal elements. In computer science, graphics, they call this fractal design. Just to spread that, and you can use a little gray just to kind of define the white, squeeze out the white. It's you can dilute it, more blur, standing for the distant leaves. And on this side, we can do a little darker one actually. In the front, I'll make a cross in front of the leg, but you can follow the sample I did earlier. Depends on your space. So this one can something like he's grabbing, eating. So I try to make a story here. And some bare branches. Because you can have a little more leaf. Maybe one dark to identify it. And some leaves to suggest more bamboo outside to the frame on the left side. So whenever you do this kind of, just keep in mind the pattern. So you don't have to create your own pattern. It's just like the writing, calligraphy. People will know this is bamboo. Very, very much symbolized. Okay, you can have some falling leaves or just fill in some space on the bottom. So I'll just put in some leaves as if they are in the front, and hanging branch maybe from this side. And some dense and some sparse. A little bit detail. Just that's all about it. Okay. Thanks for watching.